We had our first ARD of the year today, and it was for Laura. Now, um, long story short, what the ARD was for was to take Laura out of a social skills class and put her into an elective of her choosing. That was it. That was kind of the main goal of the meeting, and we accomplished that. So I'm happy it went well. The way it came to be is what I think is interesting. So, um, my children have all been put into this social skills class at the high school. Troy went through it for 2 years. They wanted him in it for a third year, and I said no. Laura was put into it for the second time this year, and then Kobe was put in it for the first time. You hear that, you've got autistic kids, you're like, social skills, yeah, they need that. Yep. But the first year that Troy was in it, I had some feelings. It didn't seem right. They were doing like remote learning, and so I would overhear stuff, and I didn't quite get it. It didn't. So I started asking questions when the second year turned around, and we were all just kind of in survival mode back then, if you recall. But the second year then rolled around, and they put him in it again, and I was like, I don't understand this. I've got some concerns about this. And I was told, hey, it's a new teacher, completely different teacher this year. It's going to be way more structured. It's going to be great. Okay. So I went with it. And Laura and Troy both did it. And they were in the same class together. And they loved the teacher. Like they loved the teacher. But I still had concerns about the class. So I said no to Troy being in it. No. But I put Laura and Kobe in it again. A friend reached out this weekend, and she has a son in a completely different school district. And she had concerns about social skills class. They wanted her son in a social skills class. And so she reached out to me and to some of our friends and was like, I've got concerns about this, and I think this, and I think that, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it doesn't really bother me. I said, no, I don't think it was done well in my school, but I mean, but she's just going through this kind of list of concerns that she has about it. And I'm reading through this and I'm like, you know, she's making some excellent points. Excellent points. So I decided at the bare minimum, I was going to equip myself with more information. I had tried before, didn't get far. I'm like, you know what? This time you're not going to drop it. So I reached out to the school and I asked a lot of questions, very direct questions. And I wanted to know, like, is this an elective open to all students? And if so, how is that shared out? Is this only for students with IEPs? If so, how are they generalizing those skills? What curriculum are you using? What specific training has the teacher had to specifically teach social skills? Things like that. The list was long. I got answers. They were not satisfactory at all. They just were not. And so I was like, okay, no. Laura, we're taking Laura out of that class. I asked Laura first. Laura's eyes got so big, and she said, that's allowed? It blew her mind that it was even a possibility to not be in that class. So we went to ARD today. The lesson that I learned from this experience was probably need to dig a little more into these electives that our kids are kind of funneled into, number one. Number two, it was a great reminder about the power of relationships. I'm so grateful for my friend for reaching out and having those questions for her own son, which made my mind just spin. I have learned so much from other parents who are walking the same or similar journeys than me. They may not have kids with the same diagnoses as mine, but they're walking a very similar life journey. And so I am constantly learning, growing, evolving from the conversations that we have. And I think when you know better, you do better. And I'm so excited that tomorrow Laura's going to get a schedule change. She's going to get to choose what elective she wants. And guess what? She's going to be working on her social skills with her non disabled peers.